there. Lynn Huber and Richard is here.
Hello.
It is our Sunday night Learning with Lynn. How's that? So, want to welcome everybody out. Actually, we don't have anybody here yet, but hopefully they're coming. And so do we know for sure that we can hear it? Everything good?
I don't know.
He wasn't ready.
No, I thought you could see it on your other.
I can't see if they can hear it.
I thought you had another one.
You have another one. So, so today is Sunday, July 15th. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. And turn that off. Thank you. Hey, Rick, how are you?
It works.
Okay, so hey, I hope you're all having a great weekend. Today is July 15th, and this is our Sundays Learning with Lynn, and our weekly Sunday show. So today we're going to talk about how to dramatically increase your sales. And I know that a lot of people would love to do that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we are working on it as well, but we've done it before, so luckily we know how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to do that. Okay, so let me move that over there. So we are on onlinebeautybiz.com. This is our blog, my blog, where I teach you how to be successful with Avon. And if we just go back to home, I should have been there. So we just went to onlinebeautybiz.com, and the post we're going to do is right here. But if you come at a later time when it's not right there, you can just go to search and you can type in increase your sales. And there's a whole bunch of articles in here about how to increase your sales. Check that out. But the one we're going to talk about today is how to dramatically increase your Avon sales. So, you know, some people come into Avon and they want to make a lot of money. Some people just want to make a little bit of money, and that's okay too. Maybe you might want to pay for your fun money, or to take your kids out on outings, or maybe your vacation once a year. Or then there's those of us who figured out what we could do with this, and now we're living our dreams, and Avon is our full-time income. So that's pretty cool because we don't have to work anymore. So to dramatically increase your income, first thing we want to do is, like, you know, like what I said in here is, do you look at those reports hi Pat, do you look at those reports every campaign and see all those people who have sold like 38,000 or 50,000 or 110,000 and wonder how is that even possible when you're selling, I don't know, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 a year? Well, I'm going to talk to you about how to do that so you can get your goal up to whatever you want. So first I'm going to click on this. It's a post. It's in that blog post right here, link that says what are the different levels. So here are the levels of President's Club. President's Club is once you've sold $10,100, then you become President's Club. And once you've achieved this level, that's within 1 year, and it's a calendar year. Well, it's campaign 1 through 26, okay? And once you've done that, you get a guaranteed 40% minimum earnings. That means even if you just place a $50 order, you're still going to make guaranteed 40%. And 25% on the fixed earnings instead of 20%. So this is totally achievable, and everybody should at least try to get to President's Club, that $10,000 in sales, because once you've reached President's Club, you're kind of the elite of Avon. They consider you top sellers, and they treat you really well, and they give you birthday gifts and anniversary gifts, and they give you a special luncheon, and they just go all out for you. This is not a hard level to reach. It's like $400 a month. I mean, just under $400 a campaign in sales. Honor Society is the next level, $20,000. And you get a bunch more benefits once you've achieved Honor Society. And then Rose Circle, $35,000. And now you get guaranteed 45% earnings and 25 on fixed earnings. David H. McConnell is at $65,000. And then President's Council is $110,000. Once you are at President's Council, you get to go on a trip, all expenses paid, to the National Recognition Celebration. This year it's going to be in Maui. We've been to the Dominican Republic. We've been on a cruise. We've been all kinds of trips at this level. It's pretty cool. It's like you're guaranteed that trip if you're at that level. And then President's Inner Circle, $220,000. Now, you absolutely can get to this level, but I will say most people that are at the president's inner circle are probably stores, LABCs and all that. But I've also seen reps that have done it. So let's talk about how do we get there? How do we increase our sales? You know what? This is something I teach my team. And I say to myself all the time that no matter what it is that you want to solve in your business, no matter what it is, if your sales aren't high enough, if your income's not high enough, if your team's not performing well, if your team's not doing what you ask them to do, or they're just not stepping up, no matter what the problem is in your business, the answer is always talk to more people. You just have to tell yourself that. Talk to more people. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at what you need to do to figure out, first off, you want to set a goal. So you want to look at that, at those levels that I just showed you, the President's Club levels, and set a goal for where do you want to be, okay? And then once you know your goal, then it makes it a little bit easier. So now you kind of have to know, okay, well, if you want to do 400, well, back up a little bit. My customer orders average around $25. I have some customers that order $5 or $10 every campaign, and then I have other customers that might do $100 or $150. But really, if you average it out over the long haul, it's about $25. If you take advantage of the earning, the A boxes and all that, where if you do a $40 order, you get the $10 A box. If you really promote that with your customers, then you're going to end up with more $50 orders. So just to give you an idea, if you want to achieve $400 in sales in a campaign, you would need 16 customers at $25 or only 8 of them at $50. And that's the magical number that's going to help you achieve President's Club. And then you get the guaranteed 40% earnings and your fixed earnings. If you wanted to go to $1,000 in sales, you're going to need about 40 customer orders at $25 or 20 customer orders at $50. And so at this problem, you'd have no problem reaching Honor Society, which is 20,000. You want to do 1,500, 60 customer orders at $25 or 30 customer orders at $50. And here you would reach Rose Circle, so 35,000. And 2,500, you'd need 100 customer orders or 50 at $50, and that would get you to David McConnell. 4,500, 180 customer orders or 90 at $50. And I'm going to tell you something. We used to sell in California. When we were selling at this level, we were selling about 6,000 a campaign. And really, that was only about 70 customer orders, I think. You were delivering about 70 customer orders. So this isn't a set in stone number, okay? Because it just depends. Sometimes you might have smaller orders. I think in the summer months, the orders are a little smaller. Around the holidays, they're bigger. So, it just depends. If you wanted to have $8,500 in sales, that's 340 customer orders. So here's the thing. I know some of you are probably freaking out going, how am I going to deliver 340 customer orders? Or how am I going to get to $4,500 in sales, 180 customer orders? You know what? When you go to work, you have to work 40 hours a week, right? And you have to be there 40 hours a week when you have a job and you get paid for that. But if you're doing $4,500 in sales, that's over 2 weeks. Let's just say you made on average, I'll do 35%. That's almost $3,000 in earnings. And it's not going to take you 40 hours to deliver that 180 orders. It's not even going to take you 40 hours to deliver 340 customer orders. That's the key.
The main thing to think here is that you're not going to go from the first week you're there having one customer, and the second week you're going to have 180 customers to deliver orders to. It's going to happen gradually, and you're going to work out a system that works. And the thing is too, you have to remember, like say if you were going to do this, the one right here, if you're going to do $2,500 of sales, you need 100 customers. Well, if you only had 100 customers aren't going to order every single campaign.
No, this is orders.
That's order, but that's a customer. You have 100 customers ordering, and if you only have 100 customers, you're not going to get 100 customers. You might get 10, 20, 25 orders out of that. So you're going to need bigger numbers. So you're going to gradually grow to this.
Yeah. And I know these numbers sound big, but just keep that in perspective, because if you compare $3,000 for a 2-week period, most jobs don't even pay that. let's just say, to be honest, okay? Most jobs don't even pay that. And it's not going to take you actually 40 hours a week. This is 2 weeks, so it's not going to take you 80 hours to deliver those orders.
Back when I was having the problem of having to deliver all these orders, the problem, so to speak, I usually at the most, I would probably get most of my orders out in 2 to 3 days, and it wouldn't be full time. I'd be doing them only in the afternoon or the early evening, and it would be a span of 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it might take 5 days to a week to get them all out because you couldn't connect with everybody. But pretty much I had a system set up where I'd call them up and say I'd be in your area on Tuesday from between and Tuesday afternoon, evening, and just leave a check under the mat or however they wanted to pay, or they could pay ahead. Now we have Square and other ways to pay. You can get a lot of these things wired down a lot better so that it's easy to do, and it is totally doable.
I've talked to other reps who sell at the really high levels. I talked to one lady, I think she was in Washington or Oregon or somewhere up there. And she had a kind of a sheltered area kind of off to the side of her garage with these cabinets. And she would put the customer orders in those cabinets, and the customers would come get their own orders. And she'd give them 5% off for doing that or something. So she wasn't even delivering them. And like Richard said, you can work it out. Even if they do it on credit card, you can work that out. You can process their credit card payment and then say, I'll be delivering it on this day, and I'll leave it wherever they want you to leave it, inside the screen door or wherever, behind a bush or wherever they want you to leave it. Or you just hook up. You'll get a system down, like Richard said.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. You'd love to have a rapport with your customer, but I almost dreaded it when I had to actually meet somebody and give them an order, because it usually meant they wanted to stop and visit for 15 minutes or half an hour, and I'm sitting there looking at my watch the whole time because I got 4 other orders I wanted to get out in that same time. So it's a blessing in disguise, but it all works out.
Yeah, but it's not so dramatic as it sounds. And like Richard said, it's something you grow into. You don't have it happen overnight.
Yeah.
So here's some things. So you should already have your goal. And you know what? Just keep reaching for the next one. So I just made President's Club for this year already. We're in campaign 16, right? And I just made President's Club. So now my goal is to get to Honor Society. Once I get to Honor Society, my next goal is to get to Rose Circle. You don't have to aim all the way for the top. You just keep going for the next one. Hi, Lily. Hi, Jody. Welcome. So anyway, and get out your calendar. You know what? If it's not on your calendar, it's probably not going to happen. So block out your calendar when you're going to do the time slots, when you're going to be working your business. Because the key is the biggest part of working your business is going to be talking to more people. It's all about talking to more people, okay? But also don't think that you have to have 4-hour time slot. You can have an hour here and 20 minutes while you're picking up your daughter from school, and maybe you're at the baseball game or you're at the swim meet or you're wherever your children are doing, and you can be passing out brochures to the mothers there. You don't have to schedule. You do need to schedule time. You need to say, how much time am I going to build my business? Okay, 20 hours a week. Great. These are the time slots on my calendar, and block them out when I will be building my business. Because if you're not putting the time in, you're not going to get the benefit. And the cool thing is, if you work 20 hours a week consistently and you do it smartly, you can make way more money than you can at a 40-hour-a-week job. So that's pretty sweet. And you have the flexibility, because if your kid is sick, you can take your kid with you, or you can do it. You can stay home that day and change your calendar around or whatever. You have the ability to change your calendar around. Whereas I remember lots of times when I go into my job and I'd say, my daughter she used to be in jazz. She was on a jazz team, a dance team. And I never could be there because it was always at 3 or 4 o'clock and I had to work until 5. And sometimes at her big events, I would try to get off, and my boss was a real jerk about it, to be honest with you, and it's hard when you have kids and you're trying to hold down a job that's not very flexible and be able to be there for your kids. Lisa Wilbur was just talking about this. She gets to be able to be at the bus when her daughter gets off the bus every day. Her daughter's older, probably doesn't need that anymore. But, the whole life, her daughter's whole life, Lydia's whole life, Lisa's been able to be there at the bus stop for her daughter when she got off work. So, okay, so then be consistent. There's a little blog post here about how to be more consistent if you need help with that. And here is the number one best advice I can give you for increasing your sales, it's all about brochures. The brochure is your store. It's your business card. It's everything about your business is in that brochure. This is your Avon business, 100%. And how many of these you buy is going to determine how much money you're going to make and how many sales you're going to make. So here's my suggestions. This is not set in stone either. Everybody is different. But if you want to make $400 in sales, I suggest you do 100 brochures. If you want to make $1,000 in sales, I suggest 250 brochures. $1,500 in sales, 375 brochures. $2,500 in sales, 625 brochures. $4,500 in sales, 1,125 brochures, and $8,500 in sales, 2,125. So back when I was selling 6,000 a campaign, I was buying 1,300 brochures every campaign. That meant I saved about 300 of those for my new recruits. So I would have brochures to give out to my new recruits to get them started. So really it was about 1,000, maybe 1,100, somewhere in there that Richard and I had to sticker them. We had to label them. We put labels on the back, we put labels on the front, we put flyers in them. They all had to be ready. It was kind of like we just sat in front of the TV with a box of books of brochures between our legs, labeling them while we were watching TV every night, because it takes a while to label those kind of numbers. If you have kids, they can help you. You can even pay neighbor kids to help you. But the key is you've got to get these brochures out. So what we did with 1,000 brochures, like I said, we were buying 1,300, but really 1,000 of them was what we were using to build our business. And we were doing about $6,000 in sales. So it's still kind of close to this, what I'm saying. Maybe not, it just depends on where you are, who you are, how you work them. But what we would do is we bulk mailed our brochures, and I tried to keep that. We kept trying to pare it back because, it's not cheap, right? It costs a little bit of money. And so we would mostly bulk mail about 300 brochures, I think, every campaign. Richard would take about 300 and he would do doorsteps. And there's another posting here. And we also talked about this on another Facebook Live just a couple of weeks ago about putting books on doorsteps 6 times in a row. So if you go knock on 100 doors and knock and introduce yourself and say, "Hi, would you like an Avon brochure? I'm your local Avon lady. Can I get your name and number so I can do a quick follow-up before I place my order?" You might get 20 to 30 orders out of that 100 if you're talking to them and you're friendly and you connect. If you leave books on the doorstep, the first campaign you do it, you might get 0. You might get 1 or 2 out of 100 books. But then the second time, you might pick up 1 or 2 more. The third time, same thing. And then about the 4th, 5th, and 6th time is when you're going to start getting the majority of people, because they've seen you there every 2 weeks like clockwork. They've seen you come and leave your book, and they start to feel like they know you, and they see that you're professional and that you're there all the time. And within about 6 campaigns, you'll get about 30%, maybe 30 out of 100, roughly, give or take. So we would do 300 of them. We'd pick a whole neighborhood, do 300 of them. We'd do them 6 campaigns in a row. Every time we picked up a customer, they went on our customer list. We made sure they got a brochure from now on. And then after 6 campaigns, Richard just moved, I'm not kidding, just to the next neighborhood. So wherever the last house he did, he would just start with the one after that and go 300 houses. And eventually, this was in Ventura, California, but eventually Richard pretty much papered the whole town over the years. Yeah. But we built up our business to where we were selling $6,000 a campaign. So I can tell you it's totally doable. Now you're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do 600 brochures, or I can't do 1,000. Look at this, you guys. 375 brochures will cost you about $80, but you're going to get $1,500 in sales roughly. If you buy 1,125 brochures, it's going to cost you roughly $230, but you're going to get $4,500 in sales if you work them. So now it doesn't sound so bad, right? Yeah, you had to come up with $230, but are you going to argue, or are you going to complain when you get $45,000 in sales, $4,500 in sales? It's all relative. So when we did it, we put this one isn't labeled because this is my working brochure that I work on in my office. But we would put a brochure, we put a label in the back right here, And if I'm just putting them on the doorsteps, I typically didn't put order dates on them because I don't want them to throw them away thinking they're expired. And I know that no matter when they call me, because I can back order 2 campaigns plus the current campaign, I can always get close enough to the price to be able to do it. So anytime I'm giving out brochures that they're not a customer already, I don't put dates on them. This is just me. On the front of the brochure, I put a label that says something like, need extra money, make extra money, sell Avon, only $25 to start. Or right now I'd be saying, special deal, $10, sign up now for $10. You know, so put a label on the front. You can put a flyer inside. We usually do. We just stick a recruiting flyer inside. So that because my big focus is sales and recruiting. So here's the deal. I lead with sales because it's a brochure. So would you like an Avon brochure? If I'm out and about, I'm going to get their name and number. If we're leaving them on the doorsteps, obviously we're not. So those are hard. You can't follow up with those. And that's why I say after about 6 campaigns, you're probably going to pick up about 30 out of 100, maybe 20 to 30 out of 100. So I was also talking about, okay, so I did 300 in the mail, 300 door to door, and the other 400 or sometimes 500, we literally gave them out every day. We would go to offices. We developed a route by going to doctor's offices. Doctor's offices, nurses, receptionists, they love Avon, and you've got a whole bunch of people in one office, so that's easy deliveries. So we'd develop a route. We would go around and give out those books. I used to stand outside the grocery store every single day. I had a commitment that I would get 10 names a day. So I would stand outside, and it was a different store every day because if you stay in front of the same store and they see you every single day, they're going to kick you out. And I got kicked out even though I wasn't there every day. But I would go to Smith's on one day, and then Vaughn's in California was Vaughn's, and then Albertsons, and then, I just would pick different stores, Kmart. And I would stand outside and I would just say, would you like an Avon brochure? And if they said, and I would hand it to them. I would hand it to them like I expected them to take it from me. Okay, because if you're like this, would you like an Avon brochure, and you're hesitant, they won't take it. They'll say, oh, no, thanks. But if you actually hand it to them like you expect them to take it from you, they'll take it. And as soon as they take it, then I say, hey, we mail our brochures. Would you be interested in getting them in the mail? That's how I get their name and number. And then I use the drawing slips, and I have them fill that out. And, you could say, if you're not going to mail them, although I suggest you mail them because it makes life a lot easier. But if you're not going to mail them, then you could say, would you like to get on my brochure list so I can make sure that you get a brochure every campaign? Or, Tina flat out says, hey, can I get your name and number so I can give you a quick call before I place my order? Or so I can let you know when I'm going to place my order. So, and you know what? She just says that to them. She just says, I've seen her do it with waitresses. She'll give them a brochure, and then she'll say, can I get your name and number, and I'll let you know when my next order is going in. And they give it to her. So it's all about how confident you are. And the more names and numbers you can get, the better your chances are of getting your sales up to President's Club and Honor Society and all the way up the ladder, David McConnell. Mm-hmm. So now you've got your brochures, you got them distributed. Here is, in fact, here's what I just talked about, door-to-door, business office route, and then any number of other ideas. So here's some suggestions on places to get brochures out. There's all kinds of ways, Like I said, if you go to your daughter's swim meet, or you go to your son's baseball game or your daughter's baseball game, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to be sexy here, but football game, softball game, there's people in the bleachers that are waiting for the game to start. They would like something to look at, right? Give them a brochure. Right now, I'm finding that everybody is open to brochures. They're all like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen a brochure in years. Is Avon still around? We're like, yes, they're still around. In fact, we are on fire. And Avon has got some amazing things. Look at all the kids' stuff that we have in our brochures.
An easy way, you're probably thinking, how am I going to do all this stuff when I'm out and about? People aren't going to want to talk to me, and I'm going to feel awkward talking to them. Wear an Avon logoed shirt or the breast cancer shirt like this one here. Wear a name tag. Anything that says Avon or have your Avon books in your purse and have them opened up so they can see the Avon books there by accident. Whatever it takes, just kind of be politely in their face.
Yeah, wrap your car. Oh.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways. So the key is you want to increase your sales, talk to more people, talk to more people, talk to more people. Get those brochures out, talk to more people, get more brochures out. Seriously, that's what's going to increase your sales. And that's how the people that are walking across the stage, that's how they're doing it. So, but it's not only that. Now you have to follow up. There's that nasty word again, right? It's my favorite word. I say it all the time. Follow up, follow up, follow up.
Mm.
Because you've given out all those books. They're not doing you any good if people don't order. And so you need to follow up. So the thing is, I know that a lot of people are like, I don't want to follow up because I don't want them to think I'm pushy. And the thing is, you're not being pushy. This is customer service. You're not calling them going, do you have an order for me? You're saying, hey, I just following up on that brochure. I'm getting ready to place my order, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave you out if you wanted anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're only offering them a service. And I can't tell you how many, we are busy. You're busy. Aren't you busy? How many times have you done this? It might not be Avon. It might be anything. You take a catalog. You're sitting in the bathroom with it. You're looking at it. Maybe you're laying in bed at night and you're looking at it. Maybe you turn the pages over and you go, I want to order this and this and this. And, oh, I love this. And then, it's the middle of the night. You're not going to call somebody right then, or you're not going to get out of bed to go place the order if it's online or whatever. And you set it down. And then you wake up in the morning and your kids are running in and life gets crazy, or you have to go to work and you're rushing around and you forget all about it. And then, a week later, you're cleaning your house up and you see that brochure and you go, oh, that's garbage. And you've completely forgotten about it. I can't tell you how many times I've called somebody and said, hey, just getting ready to place my order. I didn't want to leave you out. And they've gone, oh my gosh, thank you so much, because I did have an order. I even marked up the pages. Let me grab my book. And if they don't have an order, that's not a problem. I tell them that. And so in the follow-up, I don't have time to call every single person. And I don't. I do a couple of things. So, and I got all of this in here because some of these things will make your life a lot easier, especially if you're doing a lot of brochures. You want to make it as simple as possible and not take a lot of your time, so that your time is spent finding new customers instead of just doing the tasks associated with the current customers. And I'm not saying you don't give good customer service, you do. But like a follow-up phone call, it doesn't necessarily require a lot of your time with that customer, if that makes sense. So I suggest you put people on your list in campaign mailer and mail the brochures to them. It just makes your life easy, because then your books are going out. You don't even have to buy those books. Those books go out. They buy the books, they put your label on it, and they mail them for you. I also make sure that every single person that I've sent a brochure to gets a follow-up call or a text. And we went over this in great detail. It was last week or the week before,
so.
If you want to find that. But there's also here information about it. So if I look up their phone number to see if it's a cell phone or if it's a home phone. And if it's a home phone, I pre-record a message. I go, hey, this is Lynn with Avon. Just a quick reminder, my order goes in on Wednesday. If there's anything you need, please let me know by Tuesday. And if not, no problem. Have a great day. My number is da-da-da-da. And that's a voice shot that I record, and I have it I actually schedule it to go out to those people who don't have cell phones, that are home phones, because I can't text them. Right? So when they get it, they just get it, they pick it up and they go, hello, and they get a pre-recorded message from me. And then everybody who has a cell phone, which is most of the people, they get a text from me. And I use a text service. And so I type in, hey, this is Lynn with Avon. Quick reminder, my campaign 16 order goes in Wednesday. If you need anything, please let me know tomorrow. And I send that text message. And then I also email them, because I have an email list, and I have a blog post coming out tomorrow about email lists. But same thing, you email, and so they just know, they know when they're ordered. It's just a reminder, they know. And if they don't get it in, no problem. They might call you after the deadline. Then you say, great, I'll get you on the next order. Thank you for your order. I'll get it ordered on my next order. And that follow-up is critical. Back when I told you we were doing 6,000 a campaign, at the time my order had to go in. Actually, my order went in on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yes.
Tuesday. And I started originally, and back then, this was 8 years ago, something like that. People cell phones wasn't such a big thing, and texting wasn't such a big thing. Everything, all the phone numbers I had at that time were home phones, or they might have been cells, but they all got a voice recorded message from me. And we at first started sending the messages on Saturday morning, and we learned it wasn't getting a good response, because when somebody picks up the phone, they go, hello, the recording starts right away. And if it's a kid or a husband and they go, Mom, it's for you, by the time Mom gets to the phone, they don't hear it because it's gone. So I learned that it worked better for me to do it on Friday morning. I do 10 a.m. Just I don't know why that just works for me. I still do it at 10 a.m.
Husband's at work and kids are in school.
So, and if the mom's not home, it ends up on their answering machine.
Yeah.
So either typically, most likely, it's more likely that a mom will answer the phone, or it'll end up on the answering machine. And so I would say, please let me know by Monday. Okay. But on Friday, when I did that message, I might have, back then, I might have had $600, $700, $800 in orders. And I would do that message, and by Monday, I would have $6,000 in orders. That's how big of a deal it is. And people all the time were saying, thank you so much for the reminder, because I didn't want to miss another order. I'm out. I'm digging my face cream. I've heard this so many times. I'm digging the face cream out of the crevice in the jar because I'm out. Thank you so much for the reminder. People love the reminders. I'm serious. It's not a sales pitch. And the funny thing is, back then I had a district manager who, she really wasn't really all that helpful, but she used to tell me that I needed to make use of those phone messages, that I needed to promote what the latest product was. So she wanted me to say, hey, this is Lynn, my order's going in on Monday, and we have this on sale, and we have that on sale, and we have this and that. And I said, no, I don't want this to be a sales call. I don't want it to be, oh, Lynn's trying to sell me again. So I refused to do that, and I think that was a good decision on my part, because it's not a sales call. It's just customer service, just a reminder, I'm placing my order. Doesn't matter if you want anything or not, I'm placing my order, but if you want something, I would love to get it for you. Hope that makes sense. So then, so you do all your follow, and I even said that here, my sales were between $500 and $800, and then by Monday they were near $6,000, and every campaign. So now your order's gonna come in. Mine used to come in on a Friday, and we'd spend all night Friday bagging them and sorting them. And Richard and I had a system down. We got pretty quick with it. And then rinse and repeat. I'm not kidding, that's it. So rinse and repeat. So you deliver your orders, you collect the money, you pay Avon, or nowadays you have to pay Avon pretty much when you place your order. So you pay Avon, you place your order, you deliver to your customers. Sometimes when you deliver, you'll get new orders from them, especially if you're mailing your brochures, because they already have the brochure. And then you're out every single day and you're looking for more customers. Every single day, you constantly have to be growing. So you're looking for more customers, you're adding them to your list. I think I said in here somewhere, add all your leads into your Avon web office. So I have my own email list, and I have a blog post coming out tomorrow about you having your own email list. But Avon is really good about emailing your customers with specials and deals and stuff like that. It's also a great way for you to you can make notes in there. You can keep track of what you've done with them. So if you don't have a customer relationship manager, if you don't have a program to manage your leads or manage your customers, your web office is a great place to do that. So the key is you have to stay on top. You have to know where you're at, and you need to make sure that every customer gets touched from you, whether it's a text, whether it's they get the brochure in the mail and then they get a text from you. Maybe they get an email from you. Sometimes your emails can be, just tips, like how do you know what products are right for your face, or just tips to help them, get the most out of it. They're not all sales pitches, but you take care of your customers. You go out, you get more customers, you buy more brochures, you get them all delivered, you take the orders, you deliver the orders, you submit it to Avon, and then you deliver the orders. And then you start all over again. You get more customers. That's your whole business. It's actually quite easy. It's actually really easy. Now, does it work? Yes. I'm not going to tell you it's not work. But I have women on my team that sell. Well, right now I think my biggest seller is Camilla, and I think she's about $1,300 to $2,000 a campaign, somewhere in there. But I have had people in the past that easily were selling President's Council level, and they had a route and they had a system. Trust me, like Richard said, as you start growing, you're going to develop a system. You're going to figure out what works, and you're going to figure out ways to be able to do it quicker and more efficient. And you're going to make a six-figure income if you want to. If you're selling at 110,000, how many, what did we need here? 340. This is inner circle. So if you're selling at President's Council, which is let's say 5,000 a campaign, you need 180 orders. You're going to be making roughly $3,000 net a campaign. That's every 2 weeks, $3,000. And I guarantee you're not going to even be working 20 hours a week to do that. So it's just a matter of how you do it, how you schedule the time, and how much you focus on that.
I don't think you'd make that much, because even at 50%, it's only $2,300.
No, because I did
4,500,
4,500.
Yeah,
oh, I'm
that's
sorry.
true.
Times 0.35. Let's say you made 35.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I said that all wrong. I was doing it backwards. So you'd be making $1,500 to $2,000. $1,500 to $2,000 net, probably, after let's just say even $1,500. That's $3,000 a month. So,
but do you get to do that now, sleeping in every morning and not having to get up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock and drive off in traffic?
And work 15 to 20 hours a week?
Yeah, get your kids ready for school and see them at nighttime when it was dark. Yeah, I know. It's a lifestyle.
And this is just sales. This is just sales. You get into leadership, and I saw Emily was talking. She just got promoted to bronze executive at the end of the year. I think it was campaign 25, campaign 26. And she was saying in one of her videos, she was saying that she made about $5,000 a campaign on leadership. So if you took, and that's a bronze executive. So let's just say you're a gold leader and you're making less than that. Let's just say you're a gold leader and you're making $3,000 a campaign, or let's just say you're making $2,500 a campaign, and then you're making $2,500 a campaign on your sales. That's $5,000. Still less than 40 hours a week. Still not having to report to a boss and not having to beg them for time off so you can go see your daughter's dance recital. To me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, Richard and I quit our jobs. We haven't worked in a job since 2006, and no, is that right? 2006? No, 2006 is when I quit my job.
Yeah, and I quit a few years after that.
So Richard quit his job. No,
but we were debt free.
No, it was 2006 because we started in 2001. So so it was 2006. We haven't worked and we're debt free. We don't have a house payment. We don't have car payments. Avon gives us the freedom to live our life the way we want to go. I mean, my friend is getting married in Vegas, and he asked me if we could come, and I'm like, yeah. I don't have to get permission or get time off of work. So pretty cool. So we have quite a few people on. What questions do we have? What do you guys want to hear? Do you have any questions? I want to say hi, Barbara. Thanks for coming on. Cecilia, Jody, Lily, Pat, Rick. Rick's on twice. Don't know if one of those is Tina.
Yeah, we covered a lot of stuff there.
I know I talk fast and we covered a lot of stuff, but just go back through this article, How to Dramatically Increase Your Sales. It's all here. It's all spelled out, and you'll find what you need. But it's totally doable. It's something I know you can do.
Just we may cover it in another call, but just keep in mind too, we used to go out and have all these customers, and what I used to do and Lynn used to do too, because we seemed to lead with the product, and then we would recruit from there. And what we would do, the easiest way was we would get a handful of customers that would order every single campaign. I'd have ladies that would order $50 to $100 every single campaign. And when they call and leave their order, if I didn't catch them live, I call them back and I say, hey, your total is $100. I said, would it be okay if I could show you a way that you could get this for $40, the same amount? You still get $100 worth of product for $40 every campaign. And they say, wow, what's that? And we just sign them up to sell Avon. And some of them wouldn't be interested in building a team. And that's okay because they could just be a personal shopper. But some of them loved Avon so much that they would automatically start telling their friends, and they would start growing a business that way too.
Or they might just have sisters or friends or, hi, Tiffany, welcome. Welcome, we're glad you're here. But they, you might sign somebody up to be a personal shopper because Richard's right. Here's the deal. They can get a guaranteed minimum 20% off. So, you get paid, the very minimum is 20%. So if you have a $5 order, you're going to get 20% off. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to do a $5 order, but you know what I'm saying? There's no minimum. So if they're ordering $40, $50 every campaign, they can get that at 20% off, and then they can share it with their mom and their sisters, and they might not even want to build a big business, but they're helping their friends and their sisters or whoever get a discount, and that's helping you because you also get residual from your team. So, okay, well, I think we're not getting a lot of questions, so I want to thank you guys all for being on our Facebook Live today, and we will be back next Sunday, the 22nd, and then after that we're going to be going to Rep Fest. So I know Pat's going to Rep Fest, and Rick and Tina's going to Rep Fest, and I don't know who else is on here that might be going. So one more Facebook Live, and then we'll be going to Rep Fest. So if there's something you guys want to learn, put it in the comments after this is over, and I can see what I can do about maybe teaching that. Let me go back. Okay, so we are back. So, do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Thank you guys for being on. And
thanks for seeing everybody on here. Hey, welcome Tiffany also.
Yeah, Tiffany. Pat brags about you, so I know you're going to be really good. But anyway, you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you on Facebook, and we'll see you back here live next Sunday, 6 o'clock Mountain Time.
Have a great sales week, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.